Welcome to the Art of Dress. Today we're going to look at how the artistries combine with the styles, except we're going to focus in on one style. And that style today is elaborate romantic and how it varies according to each of the 4 artistries. So thank you so much for coming and subscribing. Here we have Chirahu Okunugi, and she is elaborate romantic. So we're going to look at the elaborate romantic face and try and see how the different artistries make that style feel and how that might be able to help you with your own understanding of your own style artistry combination. So before we start, I'd like to remind you about the artistries. In this diagram, what you see is each of the artistries combined with its qualities of form. The qualities of form are what change from one artistry to the next within the style. So architectural, as you already know, is both firm and closed and two-dimensional. And moving clockwise, we have harmonic, which is also two-dimensional, but now it is open and soft. Going again clockwise to sculptural, we have three-dimensional, open, and now curved. No, I said three-dimensional, sorry, firm. So firm, three-dimensional, and open. And then composite, which draws from each of the others. So from architectural, there is the closed-in aspect. From harmonic, there is the softness, and sculptural. Like sculptural, composite is three-dimensional. So let me show you how this changes the way an elaborate romantic will look in, mostly we look at the face. So let's start. Our first example of elaborate romantic is Bella Hadid, and she is architectural, elaborate romantic, grape earth coloring. Now, the one way, if you were going to try to describe architectural in one word, there is of course a minimalist aspect, there is an architectural aspect, but there's also a drama that comes into elaborate romantic. So that dramatic aspect is expressed in her makeup by having her mouth be the dominant feature, and is always or it works best if it's the most, shall we say, intense aspect of her face. In terms of fabric quality, the fabric quality that is symptomatic, or I could say identified with architecturals, is print. But because this is elaborate romantic, or because every style has its degree of expression, we sometimes call that the zodiac number. The zodiac number for elaborate romantic is number 1, it's the lowest. 1 out of 13. And that means that the print will not necessarily be that obvious. It can be very subtle. But the number of manifestation does not affect makeup, does not affect jewelry. It just affects the things like fabric qualities and other things which I tell you through the styles. But here, another thing that you see here is that she is wearing an earring, and earrings are usually the most important accessory for architecturals because the artistry has a sort of a focal point, and it can be either head or torso, and in the case of architectural, it's head. And so you can see that the earring is quite nice on her. The next example is Chirahu, and this is harmonic. So one interesting thing to compare, if we're comparing Bella Hadid and Chirahu, is that they are not only the same style, but they are also the same coloring. And Chirahu is grape earth coloring, same as Bella. And of course, different artistries. Now, the artistry that the one-word description of artistry for harmonic would probably be delicate, not because nothing happens in the artistry In fact, the harmonics are pretty expressed, you could say, with maybe more detail, but because the detail is finely rendered. And you can see that her features are very finely rendered as well. Just very interesting. Her makeup will be balanced, and because she and Bella are both grape earth, normally what you expect to see is a kind of a toned down makeup, a less intense makeup. But what that also means is that when she does wear makeup, it's going to be much more noticed. And so that can still work to her advantage. And here you can see that the balance of the makeup looks really beautiful. The third example is Sculptural. Now, what we have with Sculptural in terms of the qualities of form are perfectly expressed through her earring. And again, this is a head emphasis. This is where the artistry focal point is, the head. But look at these earrings. They are all three of her qualities. They are open, they are three-dimensional, and they are firm. And those are the qualities of form. So that, if you're coming up with one word to try to express the sculptural artistry, you might say, maybe, besides sculptural, you might say lush, and you might also say epic. Okay, epic is another word that could really express this. The makeup then is usually much more strongly expressed in the eyes, and the hair here, her hair is really well done with, because she is burgundy earth coloring, so her hair is pretty much middle, just a little bit medium short, and then with the center part and bang, it's just very beautifully done. So the last of the four artistries is Composite. And here we have Marisa Tomei. So again, elaborate romantic composite, and in her case, she is sky blue water coloring. Now the word for the composite would have to be probably centered or balanced, and also her makeup is the balanced makeup. And you also see this expressed in her forms because they often have this sort of a centrist kind of quality. In terms of the impact on her fabric would be soft. And this is really, for her, is a doubling because she is soft anyway, so there's no contradicting her artistry here, unlike some of the other examples. Well, the only one is sculptural because of texture, and in that case there is a slight contradiction with elaborate romantic. But in the case of Marisa, she has softness coming as her family style. So all romantics wear softness, so that's the fabric quality associated with romantics. And she has the softness coming from composite artistry as well. So softness is very important for her. So there you have the four different artistries attached to the elaborate romantic style. And as I said when I began, I'm going to do this for each of the styles, and so the next one will be Refined Classic. So thank you very much for coming, and thank you for subscribing. I look forward to seeing you again with Refined Classic, and in the meantime, please take care.